Here we go!
Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's episode I will be doing a very brief explanation of which cups English teams can play for, and also how these cup systems work, and obviously how all this pertains to FIFA. First up, we will be starting with domestic cup. Now obviously, since this channel is focused towards FIFA, the only cups I will be focusing on is the FA Cup, the Community Shield, the League Cup, and the League Trophy. The first trophy we will be talking about is the League Trophy, also known as the J-Paint Trophy. In this tournament, only League 1 and League 2 teams can compete, and 48 teams in total enter into this tournament. In the first round, 16 teams are given a first round bye. The remaining 32 teams have to fight it out for a spot. They do that in a single elimination fashion. In the second round, the 16 teams that receive the bye will play the 16 teams that won in the first round. In the third round, also known as the quarterfinals, the remaining 16 teams play in one game, and the winner goes through. The fourth round is called the semis, and the remaining 8 teams play. Obviously, the winner goes through. In the fifth round, it is called the area finals. In America, we're used to conference finals. Here, they call it area finals. And just like in conference finals for basketball, the 2 remaining sides on each side play. The winner goes through. Lastly comes the finals. The winner from each area final duke it out to see who gets the trophy. The next trophy we will be talking about is the Football League Cup, also known as the Capital One Cup. In this trophy, the only teams allowed to participate are teams from the EPL and the Football League, which is the Championship, League 1 and League 2. In this tournament, there are 92 teams, broken into 7 rounds in total. After the first 2 rounds, there are 32 teams remaining. In the second round is when the Premier League teams enter. There is one slight exception. Teams competing in European competitions are allowed to enter at the 3rd round. In the 1st to the 5th round, all these games are single-leg ties. As we know it, it's single elimination. In the 6th round, also known as the semifinals, it is a double-legged game. And what that means is each team plays at their own home ground. And then of course the 2 winners from the finals will move on to the final, and they will fight it out for the trophy. Up next is the FA Cup. The FA Cup is the oldest football association competition in the entire world, and it pits over 700 teams against each other. In this tournament, there are 14 rounds in total, and any team in Wales or England are allowed to enter the tournament. And when I say any, I mean any. The way the tournament works is there are 6 qualifying rounds, followed by 6 proper rounds, and then of course the semis and the final. Every single game is single elimination. After the 6 qualifying rounds, the 32 winners from those qualifying rounds progress and join the League 1 and League 2 teams for the 1st and 2nd proper rounds. Championship and Premier League teams enter in the 3rd proper round. In the 3rd proper round, there are 64 teams in total remaining. And then, of course, from there, it's just a single elimination tournament. And the 6th proper round is the quarterfinal with 8 teams remaining, followed by the semis with 4 teams, and then, of course, the final. And the last domestic cup of the day is called the Community Shield. It is also called the English Super Cup by some people. However, it is called the Community Shield because all proceeds go to charities and local initiatives. It is simply just one game played by the current league holders, or the past league winners of the following year, against the current FA Cup holder, or the team that won the FA Cup the following year. That's it. So now that we are done with domestic cups, now let's start talking about international cups. In England, they play in Europe. As it pertains to FIFA, there are only 2 international competitions that teams from England can compete in. These 2 trophies, of course, are the Europa League and the UEFA Champions League. First up is the Europa League. It is a UEFA-organized tournament. And for those of you who don't know, UEFA stands for the Union of European Football Associations. Not just anyone can enter. The participants, particularly in England, are based off league position and also cup competitions. So as it pertains to England and our upcoming FIFA Manager series, the teams that qualify are the team that plays 5th in the league table, the FA Cup winner, and the League Cup winner. There are some exceptions. If in England, it's not England. Special instance number 1. If an English team wins the Europa League, however, they fail to qualify with their placing in their league, or they don't win the FA Cup, or they don't win the League Cup, then they automatically qualify because they won the league, or the Europa League, I should say. Special instance number 2. If a team qualifies for the Champions League and also the Europa League, they will obviously only go to the Champions League, and the next best team gets that bid to the Europa League. For instance, last year Arsenal won the FA Cup, but they already qualified for the Champions League. So that Europa League bid went to Hull City, the team that finished runners-up in the FA Cup. Now, the way the actual competition works is there are 4 very complicated qualifying rounds, followed by a group stage. In the group stage, there are 12 groups of 4 teams, so 48 teams in total. In the group stage, it is a double round robin tournament, which means you play each team twice, once at your place and once at theirs. You earn points just like the league table, with 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and 0 points for a loss. The 2 highest scoring teams in each group get to progress to the knockout stage. For the knockout stage, the group winners and the runners-up are met by the 8 third-place teams from the group stage of the Champions League. For the knockout stage, it just becomes your basic bracket tournament. Every single team is drawn for their opponents for every single round until the final, which obviously there's only 2 teams left. Up next is the Champions League. The Champions League is also a UEFA run event. It is also one of the most prestigious trophies you can win. Depending on the year, there are 76 or 77 teams in total involved in the tournament. After the qualification rounds, it goes down to 32 teams. In England, the top 3 teams from the league are automatically qualified right directly into the group stage. And the 4th place team is introduced into the last round of the qualifying rounds. And if they win that game, they get to go into the group stage as well. As mentioned before, after the qualifying stage, there are 32 teams left. They are broken into groups of 4, and in total there are 8 groups. Just like the Europa League, there is a group stage. And in that group stage, you earn points based off wins and draws. Losses count for nothing, draws count for 1 point, and wins count for 3. After each team has played twice at home and the other team's field, the winners of the group and the runners-up of the group move on to the knockout stage. And then it becomes your standard single elimination bracket tournament, just like in the Europa League. And yes, teams are drawn for every round until they get to the final, which obviously there's only one team from each side remaining. And lastly, we have the UEFA Super Cup. All the UEFA Super Cup is, at the beginning of the next year, the current Champions League holders will play the current Europa League holders in a match for bragging rights, basically. So guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. I gave you a very, very basic explanation of what cup competitions there are in England, and also what international competitions are available as well. If you would like to know more, then just Google it, you lazy bastards. But seriously, if you are interested in how these competitions work, Google it. You can find all kinds of information everywhere. In the next episode, we will finally be starting our new manager career mode. If you did enjoy the movie, please leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave your thumbs down. Let me know why in the comments. I want to try to improve every video, so please leave a comment. Well, that is going to do it for today. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.